PCM3168A, PCM3168A-Q1 audio codec Texas instrument. Welcome to the training module on Texas Instrument PCM3168A, PCM3168A-Q1 audio codec. This training module introduces PCM3168A, PCM3168A-Q1 audio codec and their internal operations. The PCM3168A and PCM3168A-Q1 are high-performance 24-bit delta sigma audio codecs. The devices employ 6-channel ADC and 8-channel DAC. Each audio interface supports I2S left justified, right justified, and DSP formats with 16 or 24-bit word width. The codecs also support the time division multiplex format. These audio codecs can be controlled through a 4-wire SPI compatible interface or 2-wire I2C compatible serial interface in software, which provides access to all functions including digital attenuation, soft mute, de-emphasis, etc. The hardware control mode provides a subset of user programmable functions through 4 control pins. These devices are targeted for automotive audio applications such as external amplifiers as well as home multi-channel audio applications, for example, home theaters and audio-video receivers. As shown in the block diagram, the PCM3168A and PCM3168A-Q1 consists of 6-channel ADC and 8-channel DAC. The ADC input is selectable between single-ended and differential inputs. They also include 2 internal references for the 6-channel ADCs. The DAC output type is fixed with a differential configuration. The audio serial port consists of 11 signals including data, clock, and control. The PCM3168A and PCM3168A-Q1 has a high-pass filter for all ADC channels in order to remove the DC component of the digitized input signal. The codecs also have many user programmable functions that are accessed via control registers and are programmed through the SPI or I2C serial control port. The PCM3168A and PCM3168A-Q1 include 6 ADCs, each with individual pairs of differential voltage input pins. Additionally, both devices have the capability of single-ended inputs. In single-ended mode, V-in-X plus pins are used and V-in-X minus pins must be terminated with analog ground AD1 or 2 via a capacitor or terminated with common mode AD. The full-scale input voltage is VRMS at the single-ended input mode and VRMS at the differential input mode. As soon as any of the 6-channel ADC digital outputs exceed the full-scale range, an O4 flag is forced high on the OVF pin. Here also list other performance of the ADCs including total harmonic distortion plus noise, dynamic range, sampling rate, etc. The PCM3168A and PCM3168A-Q1 include 8 D2A converters, each with individual pairs of differential voltage input pins. The full-scale output voltage is VPP in differential mode. DC coupled loads are allowed in addition to AC coupled loads if the load resistance conforms to the specification. Here also list other performance of the DACs including total harmonic distortion plus noise, signal to noise ratio, dynamic range, sampling rate, etc. We will now discuss the sampling modes offered on the codec. The ADC operation supports 2 sampling modes, single rate and dual rate. And the DAC supports three sampling modes: single rate, dual rate and quad rate. In single rate mode, the A to D and D to A operate at an oversampling frequency of 128, except when serial clock is equal to 128 sampling frequency and 192 sampling frequency. This mode is supported for a sampling frequencies less than 50 kHz. In dual rate mode, the ADC and the DAC operate at an oversampling frequency of into 4. This mode is supported for sampling frequencies less than 100 kHz. In quad rate mode, the DAC operates at an oversampling frequency of into 32. The sampling mode is automatically selected according to the ratio of the system clock frequency and sampling frequency by default. But manual selection is also possible for specified combinations through the serial mode control resistor. The PCM3168A and PCM3168A-Q1 have both an internal power-on reset circuit and an external reset circuit. In internal power-on reset, the initialization is triggered automatically at a point where VDD exceeds 2.2 volt typical, and the internal reset is released after 3846 synchronous clock cycles from power on if RST is kept high and synchronous clock is provided. For the external reset, RST accepts an external force reset to low and provides a device reset and power down state that makes the lower power dissipation state available in the PCM3168A and PCM3168A-Q1. The PCM3168A and PCM3168A-Q1 support 8 audio data interface formats for the ADC and DAC separately in both master and slave modes. 24-bit I2S, 24-bit left justified, 24-bit right justified, 16-bit right justified, 24-bit left justified mode DSP, 24-bit I2S mode DSP, 24-bit left justified mode TDM, and 24-bit I2S mode TDM format. They also support 2 audio data interface formats for the DAC and slave mode, that's 24-bit left justified mode high-speed TDM and 24-bit I2S mode high-speed TDM format. The PCM3168A and 3168A-Q1 include 4-way mode control selectable by mode pin. This allows to select the hardware control or serial control modes with the analog input configuration. The pull-up and pull-down resistors on these pins must be 220 kiloohms plus or minus 5%. This mode control selection is sampled only when the internal reset is released by a power-on reset or by a low to high transition of the external reset pin. A system clock is also required. The PCM3168A and PCM3168A-Q1 include an SPI compatible serial port that operates asynchronously with the audio serial interface. The control interface consists of MDI, SDA, DEMP, MDO, ADR1, MD1, MC, SCL, FMT, and MS, ADR0, MD0. MDI is the serial data input to program the mode control registers. MDO is the serial data output to read back register settings and some flags. MDO is inactive during MS is equal to high. MC is the serial bit clock rate that shifts the data into the control port. MS is a select input to enable the mode control port. The audio codec support an I2C compatible serial bus and data transmission protocol for fast mode configured as a slave device. A master device must control the packet protocol, which consists of the start condition, slave address with a read-write bit, data if a write operation is required, acknowledgement if a read operation is required, and stop condition. The PCM3168A and PCM3168A-Q1 support both slave receiver and transmitter functions. In receiver function, a master device can write to any of the chip's registers using single or multiple access. The master sends the slave address with a write bit, a register address, and the data. As a transmitter, a master device can read the registers from at the address H40 and address H5E of the devices. Before concluding the presentation, we would like to highlight key design considerations to ensure better performance. Please go through these important points and make a note.